Alright, thanks everybody for coming out. We've got a really interesting case for you today. You are the parents of a 6-year-old girl with a severe peanut allergy. Now this girl's allergy is so intense that it is classified as a disability under the Americans with Disabilities Act. Therefore, the Florida public school which she attends is required to make accommodations for her disability. Under the status quo, this includes things like sterilizing desks after children, in between classes. All nuts are banned from the school. Kids have to wash their hands and rinse out their mouths when they get to school to ensure that no peanuts get into the area, which would cause harm to this little girl. And they also brought peanut sniffing dogs through the school. Now, there's been a lot of controversy that's sprung up around this. Lots of parents are upset. They're saying this is infringing on their children's education, and they feel that this little girl should be taken out of school. So as this little girl's parents, do you leave her in school, in public school, or do you homeschool her? I'll now pause time to let you make your decision and ask questions.
Peanut dogs. Who pays for all these things? The government? Like, who pays for all these things?
Who pays for what?
The peanut dogs, the mouthwash, the workers that.
You mean the water to rinse out the children's mouths and the sterilizing stuff for the tables? I mean, I guess the school does,
including the dogs and the dog trainers and things like that.
It's not like they trained peanut sniffing dogs. It's like these dogs existed, like in the police department, and they brought them through.
Right, and the police department has to do this.
This is like funded by the school district. We'll say that's the school district has to pay the money.
How big is the school district?
It's an average Florida public school district.
What's the number of students?
I don't know.
This is important to the debate.
It's an average American school district. That's not important. You're stalling. Make a decision. So it's either keep her in or homeschool her? Yes, those are your only two options. Keep her in public school through 12th grade or homeschool her through 12th grade. And she's 6 years old currently.
What grade is that?
It's like kindergarten, first grade.
She's in school already. She's already in school.
Come on, we want to try to get in it.
I think she probably. All right. Homeschool.
You have to go? Sure. I'm Iron Man?
Yes. Yeah, Iron Man.
We were just, I thought Ralph was your name.
No?
No.
Damage my property and leave me hanging, alright? Good night.
This is
Good
very
night.
good.
Sorry.
That's what's so good.
Are you gonna homeschool her?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said that.
Alright. So we on side government, I on side government, feel that homeschooling this girl is a terrible idea. You should absolutely leave her in school. And we have 4 constructive reasons why we think she should be left in school. The first of these is her education. In the public school system, she's going to be in a much better learning environment. And just qualitatively, she's going to get a better education. She's going to have better teachers. She's going to have a better educational experience, number one, because she'll have professionally trained teachers. People who have been, educated in education, people who know different teaching strategies, who can best present the material, and who have an adequate understanding of the material that she's being taught throughout her life. And let's not forget, she's 6 years old now, but this carries on into high school and stuff like that. So it would be kind of hard for her parents to homeschool her when it gets to stuff like AP history, and she just won't have the same sort of educational opportunities at home that she would have in the public school environment. Also, she's going to get a better and more well-rounded experience as the years go by in the public school system versus a homeschooled system, because she's going to have more access to things like extracurricular activities, band, sports, things like this, in the safe environment environment of the school. She's gonna have more art, music in her life, things that wouldn't translate into a homeschooled education. Homeschooled educations are more like, I'm talking to the camera because the camera's the judge, don't.
Okay,
Okay.
you lost 4 seconds.
She's going to have a better and more well-rounded education, which is going to better prepare her for her later life. Speaking of later life, our second constructive point is the idea that this is just going to be more socially beneficial for her. In a homeschool environment, she's going to be largely isolated. She's going to live in her own little bubble. She won't interact with other kids as much. At school's not just about learning. School is about the social environment, developing friendships with kids, developing interpersonal skills, and, learning how to become your own person. A lot of that happens in the public school environment because you encounter different types of people, and you think, well, am I like this person? Am I like my friend Sally in this respect? Or am I, a little bit different than my friend Sally? Interacting with other children aids people in developing their own identity. Our third constructive point is the idea that this is just on the whole going to be better for everybody involved. It's best for all the children because it's going to teach other kids important skills. Things like hygiene and sanitation, like little kids are dirty, little kids are grimy. Under ordinary circumstances, these children probably would not be washing their hands a lot or like rinsing out their mouths or remembering to like wipe down desks or tables. So like basic hygienic things, it gets kids in the habit of having this little girl around, having to take these extra sanitary measures of being more sanitary. They develop good hygiene and that just translates into benefit for the other children. Also, you're cutting down on classroom illness because you have to make sure that these classrooms are so sterile. You decrease the transmission of disease. We all know that like kindergarten and first grade, like school environments are cesspools of germs. Most people get sick in school all the time. When a teacher first starts their career, they're sick all the time because they haven't built up like their immunity yet. Schools are disgusting places. So having these kids like learn good hygiene and practice good sanitation is going to be beneficial. And it also teaches these children how to be accommodating, how to make exceptions, make compromises for other people, make considerations for the disabled, things like that. And we feel it's going to help them grow and become better people. And as a parent, you want the kids in the school to be better people because that directly benefits your daughter when she's in that environment with better people. Also, you're going to be improving the image of the Florida school system. Under the status quo, the Florida school system has like this terrible, horrible reputation for being intolerant. And no, there is a woman who was a teacher at a Florida public school who murdered a bunny rabbit in front of her class in order to teach them a valuable lesson about life and death. Like, don't call shame on me. I'm illustrating an example. Like, Florida has a terrible reputation for education. So, you're gonna be increasing their image in terms of like tolerance. You're gonna make the Florida school system seem more tolerant because they're being accommodating towards your poor disabled little girl, disability awareness, and like set a good example. The Florida school system right now does not look good. What does that do for your daughter as parents? When she goes to a school system that has this reputation for being intolerant, it doesn't reflect well. But just like if the school system's image is improved, then that'll also like lend her greater benefits down the line. Our fourth independent point is the idea that you're teaching her daughter to stand up for her rights on this side of the house. She has the right to attend public school. She has the right to be accommodated under the Americans with Disabilities Act. And we feel that as parents, you should absolutely be teaching your daughter to stand up for her own rights, not lay down and, let people walk all over and say, you can't do this, you can't do that. Teaching her to stand up for herself is a life skill, which we feel is going to afford her tremendous benefit down the line. And as her parents, you obviously want her to fully take advantage of all of her rights because you want her to have all the best that the world can offer and, develop a strong sense of, I don't know, not patriotism, what's the word I'm looking for? The best word I can think of is gumption. Like you want her to have that sort of sassiness, I know what I'm entitled to, and I'm not going to settle for anything less. That is absolutely the attitude that you want your daughter to have, and this is a great way to instill that attitude in her. We are proud to propose, I am, because my partner backed